You cannot hold on to everything and expect to rise. Greatness is not a clearance sale where you get to keep your comfort, your laziness, your distractions, and still walk out with purpose. You want something big, you give up something big. That's the trade-off. There's no backdoor, no hack, no cheat code. People see success and think it's glamour, but they don't see what got cut out of the frame. They don't see the nights of isolation. They don't see missed birthdays, missed fun, missed sleep. Greatness comes with a price tag, and it's paid behind the scenes. If you're not willing to pay behind closed doors, don't expect to shine in the spotlight. While others relax, you're grinding. While they celebrating, you're still working. It hurts sometimes. You feel left out. You wonder if it's worth it. But deep down, you know the path you're on isn't supposed to be crowded. The road to greatness has room for one you. Some days you'll want to quit because it feels like you're giving everything up and getting nothing in return. But the sacrifice builds you in ways comfort never could. Every hour you put in is an investment in who you're becoming. You're not wasting time. You're buying your future. Nobody talks about the silent sacrifices, the ones you make with your time, your energy, your mental space, turning off the TV to work, skipping outings to focus, saying no to habits that feed your old self. These aren't small choices. These are the bricks that build your legacy. The people closest to you may not understand it. They'll ask why you work so hard. They'll say you've changed, but they didn't get the vision. You did, and if they're not willing to walk with you, then walk alone. Sacrifice is a lonely companion, but is also a loyal one. If you ever feel like quitting, ask yourself what you're trading it for. Is it worth more than your destiny? Is a moment of ease worth a lifetime of regret? Because in the end, greatness isn't given, it's earned. And the receipt is always sacrifice. You can't grow and stay comfortable at the same time. Comfort zones feel safe, but they are dream killers. They wrap you in routines, excuses, in the familiar, and slowly suffocate your potential. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll stay exactly where you've always been. People don't realize how expensive comfort is. It costs you progress. It costs you time. It costs you experience. While you sitting still, the world is moving. And before you know it, comfort becomes regret. It becomes the reason you didn't become what you could have been. The moment you feel resistance, that's your signal that you're on the edge of growth. It's not a warning to retreat. It's a call to break through. That's where greatness lives, on the other side of fear, discomfort, and doubt. If it doesn't stretch you, it won't change you. There's a reason winners look uncomfortable. They're always moving, adjusting, challenging themselves. They don't sit in safety. They chase new standards. They put themselves in rooms that make them feel small so they can grow bigger. They don't need comfort. They crave progress. You have to get used to being uncomfortable with being uncomfortable. Every time you avoid something hard, you're choosing to stay where you are. But every time you push through that discomfort, you're building something. Confidence, skill, endurance. That's how greatness gets built. Comfort might feel good now, but it's stealing from your future. That nap you take instead of learning something new, that's a deposit into mediocrity. That task you delay because it's hard, that's you putting off your breakthrough. Stop thinking you have more time to get uncomfortable. You don't. If you want your life to change, your habits have to change. If you want to be great, you've got to stop hanging out in average places doing average things. Step out. It'll scare you, but it'll stretch you. It'll challenge you, but it'll elevate you. Nothing amazing grows in comfort. You can't wait until you feel like doing it. Feelings are inconsistent. They'll lie to you. Discipline tells the truth. It shows up on cold mornings, on late nights, on days when everything feels heavy. It doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't negotiate with your mood. Discipline is the difference between dreams and results. The people who succeed aren't always more talented. They're more committed. They decided they would show up no matter what. Rain, fatigue, doubt, failure. It didn't matter. They made a decision and backed it with action. That's what separates the almost from the accomplished. That's what builds greatness when motivation walks out the door. Discipline isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's in the early alarms, the unread messages, the workouts when you're tired, the rehearsals or when no one's watching. Discipline lives in the quiet choices, the ones nobody sees but everyone feels later. It's what turns potential into power and power into performance. You'll never rise higher than your level of discipline. You can have the best plan, the best ideas, the best resources, but without discipline, it all collapses. Dreams leak through inconsistency. And every time you say, I'll do it later, you train your mind to delay your destiny. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. You will mess up, you will miss days, but discipline pulls you back on track. It doesn't let one mistake become a pattern. It doesn't let one excuse turn into a lifestyle. It forces you to get real with yourself and stay locked in. Discipline is choosing purpose over pleasure. It's saying no to the easy way out. It's choosing growth over gratification. The moment you let feelings drive you, you start drifting. But when discipline drives, you move with power, not passiveness. You start owning your days instead of watching them disappear. You don't get to choose if discipline matters. It already does. The only choice is whether you build it or break under the lack of it. Every morning is a decision. Every task is a test. And every time you choose discipline, you deposit the life you're trying to build. You've got to stop expecting applause from people who never understood your vision in the first place. Everyone won't clap for you. Everyone won't cheer for your grind. Some folks won't believe in you until it's too late, until you're already standing on the stage they never thought you'd reach. Stop waiting for their support and start moving without it. It hurts when people you love don't believe in you. It's frustrating when you give your all and they still question your ambition. But you have to learn that your purpose doesn't need a committee. You weren't called to convince people. You were called to chase what's already in you. If they don't see it, that's on them, not you. Some people are too familiar with your past to respect your future. They knew you when you struggled, when you failed, when you didn't have it together. And because they can't unsee that version of you, they can't accept who you're becoming. But that doesn't mean you shrink to fit their memory. It means you grow anyway. Your journey is going to make people uncomfortable. It's going to challenge their excuses. Your discipline is going to expose their laziness. Your growth will highlight their stagnation. And instead of clapping, they'll criticize. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing what they never dared to attempt. Don't take it personally when they disappear. Don't beg them to stay. Some people were only meant to be chapters, not your whole story. The ones who leave when you level up weren't really with you. They were with the version of you that made them feel comfortable. Let them go and keep climbing. Learn to be your support system. Encourage yourself. Motivate yourself. Celebrate yourself. If no one shows up, show up for yourself anyway. If nobody claps, finish the job and clap alone. Your worth doesn't increase with their approval, and your purpose doesn't decrease with their absence. You have to get strong enough to walk with or without them. Greatness can't be built on shaky foundations. If you're relying on outside validation to keep going, you'll quit the moment it fades. But if you're powered by purpose, by conviction, by grit, you become unstoppable, no matter who stands beside you or walks away. Rejection is not the end, it's a training ground. Every no you hear is shaping you, sharpening you, preparing you for the yes that changes everything. Most people run from rejection, but greatness demands you face it, stand in it, and grow stronger because of it. Rejection doesn't mean you're not good enough. It means you're getting ready for something greater. You have to develop thick skin if you want to go far. You're going to get overlooked. You're going to get passed up. Doors will slam in your face. People will doubt your talent, your effort, and your intentions. But every time that happens, you get a choice. Do you fold or do you rise? Do you absorb it and quit or do you use it as fuel? The truth is, rejection teaches you things success never will. It shows you how bad you want it. It reveals your real character. It forces you to self-reflect and level up. It's easy to look good when everything's going your way. But when nothing works and you still standing, still grinding, still believing, That's when greatness starts forming. You're not supposed to be accepted by everyone. Some doors have to close so you stop trying to fit where you don't belong. Some people have to reject you so you stop relying on others for validation. Rejection reroutes you toward the right opportunities, the ones that align with your calling, not just your comfort. Rejection also makes you resilient. Every time someone tells you no and you bounce back, you build muscle, mental, emotional, and spiritual muscle. You stop fearing failure. You stop needing approval. You become immune to opinions that don't build you. And when you get to where you're going, that toughness will be the reason you last. If everything came easy, you never grow strong enough to sustain it. The hard part isn't getting there, it's staying there. And rejection is the resistance that builds your endurance. It keeps you humble, keeps you hungry, keeps you focused. It's not a setback. It's weightlifting for your destiny. The people who made it didn't avoid rejection. They mastered it. They heard no 1,000 times and still moved forward. They were laughed at, doubted, and ignored, and still kept pushing because they knew rejection wasn't the finish line. It was just part of the cost. And if you want greatness, you pay that cost without hesitation. You can't run from failure. You've got to stop treating it like a curse and start seeing it as a classroom. Every failure is a teacher. Every mistake is a message. It's trying to show you something about yourself, your habits, your limits, your blind spots. The people who win big didn't avoid failure. They got knocked down, got embarrassed, got it wrong, but they kept showing up. Failure will test your confidence, but it'll also sharpen your purpose. It'll ask you, are you serious about this, or are you just playing? When everything falls apart, that's when you find out if you've got heart. That's when you see what you're made of. Most people give up on failure, but the ones who rise, they use it like fire in their chest. You're not going to get it right the first time. You're not supposed to. Stop thinking success means a straight line. It's messy. It's ugly. You're going to stumble. You're going to feel lost. You're going to question yourself. That's the process. That's how greatness is made. In the confusion, in the doubt, in the moments where everything screams quit. Every time you fail and keep going, you become more dangerous. You become more focused, more experienced, more resilient. That's why you've got to fail early and fail often. You've got to get those losses under your belt so you can learn how to win. Because real confidence isn't built through perfection. It's built through pressure. Most people fear failure more than regret. That's why they never take the shot. They play safe, stay small, and aim low. But the truth is, failure hurts for a moment. Regret lasts a lifetime. At least when you fail, you tried. At least you moved. At least you dared to put your gift on the line. You can come back from failure. You can't recover what you never started. At some point, you got to realize not everyone is meant to go where you're going. That's a hard truth. You might love them, you might have a history with them, but elevation requires separation. When you start growing, when you start moving differently, when your mindset shifts, not everyone will understand, and that's okay. Some people are comfortable with the old version of you. They liked it when you weren't disciplined. They liked it when you had time for nonsense. They liked you when you were average because it didn't make them feel insecure. But the moment you start waking up earlier, grinding harder, and dreaming bigger, they feel threatened and they'll try to pull you back. It's not always hate. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's jealousy. Sometimes it's just the fact that your growth reminds them of what they're not doing. They see you climbing, and instead of asking how they can grow too, they distance themselves or talk down on your vision. That's when you've got to choose your purpose over popularity. You've got to be willing to walk alone if necessary. You've got to be okay with silence, with lonely days, with empty support systems. Because if you wait for everyone to catch up, you'll miss your moment. You'll water down your dream trying to drag people who were never willing to grow with you. And greatness doesn't wait for the unprepared. Most are seasonal. They came into your life for a chapter, not the whole book. You've got to stop trying to make temporary people permanent. Stop begging people to see your worth. Stop trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Some of them can't come because they can't handle where you headed. The higher you climb, the smaller your circle gets. That's normal, that's necessary. You need people who push you, who challenge you, who believe in the version of you that doesn't exist yet. And sometimes you got to leave behind the ones who only knew how to survive with you, but don't know how to thrive with you. Letting go doesn't mean you don't love them. It means you love your future more. You're not being disloyal. You're being obedient to your calling. You're not abandoning them. You're choosing alignment. You can't force people to level up, but you can decide not to stay stuck trying to carry what was never meant for the next level. You've got to wake up every day and grind like there's no promise of reward, because there isn't. That's the truth. Most people don't want to hear. You can put in the hours, the sweat, the pain, and still not get the results when you expect them. But that doesn't mean the grind is wasted. The grind is the growth. The grind is the becoming. Too many people quit because they thought hard work guaranteed success. They thought showing up meant the door would open immediately, but the grind is like planting seeds. You don't know when they'll break through the dirt, but you keep watering them anyway. You can't control the timing, but you can control your consistency. The grind will test your patience. It will make you question your sanity. You'll see people doing half the work, getting twice the recognition, and you'll be tempted to cut corners. But that's not how greatness works. The grind doesn't reward shortcuts. It rewards perseverance. It rewards integrity. It rewards the ones who stay locked in when no one's watching. Some days you'll do everything right and still feel like you're losing. You'll be disciplined, focused, and consistent, and nothing will happen. But that's when your character is being forged. That's when you're building what can't be seen yet. The results will come, but only if you can keep grinding with zero guarantees. You've got to fall in love with the process, not just the outcome. If you only show up when things are going your way, you'll never last. The grind requires you to show up tired, show up uncertain, show up broken sometimes, because this journey isn't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about who you become while pushing through the unknown. Success doesn't send a convocation email. There's no congratulations halfway through the struggle. You have to move like it's coming, even when everything says it's not. You have to show up like the breakthrough is around the corner, even if the corner keeps moving. Because the grind is faith in action. It's betting on yourself over and over without any guarantee of a payoff. And still you grind. Because deep down you know that even if it takes longer, even if it hurts more, even if nobody claps, the work is never wasted. What you build in the dark will shine in the light. But only if you're willing to give your all, with no guarantees, and still keep pushing like the reward is already yours. Every minute you spend is a deposit. The problem is most people don't treat time like money. They treat it like it's unlimited, but once it's gone, it doesn't come back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose opportunities and find new ones, but you waste time, that's permanent. And the people who become great are the ones who spend their time like every second counts. You've got to be intentional. Millionaires aren't born no drift into greatness. You decide your way into it. That means your time can't be cheap. You can't be out here giving it to everything and everyone. You've got to protect your schedule like your future depends on it, because it does. What you do today decides what doors open tomorrow. Every hour matters. Every choice matters. Look around. Most people are busy, but they're not productive. They fill their days with noise, but they're not making progress. If you're chasing greatness, you can't afford to just be busy. You've got to be strategic. You've got to ask, is this moving me forward or just keeping me distracted? Time spent doing the wrong things is just disguised procrastination. You want to know what separates the average from the exceptional? How do they use their time? While others are scrolling, sleeping in, or talking about what they're going to do, the great ones are working, learning, and grinding in silence. They know the clock's ticking. They know the competition is out there, and they refuse to waste what can never be refunded. Time demands sacrifice. You can't say yes to greatness without saying no to comfort. That means no to late night distractions. No to people who don't match your vision. No to habits that drain your energy. You've got to trade temporary pleasure for long-term purpose. And if you're not willing to do that, you're not serious about winning. The thing is, time will expose you. It'll show whether you've been building or just talking, whether you've been preparing or just pretending. A lot of people start with passion, but they don't last because they don't respect the grind over time. They want microwave success, but greatness is cooked slow, day by day, decision by decision. And if you want that next level, you've got to pay with time. Time in the gym, time in the books, time praying, planning, working. Every second has value. You don't get to keep time, you only get to spend it. So spend it like you believe your calling is real. Spend it like greatness isn't just a dream, it's a debt you owe to yourself, and only currency accepted is your time. You cannot reach greatness without facing pain. It's not optional, it's mandatory. Every person you admire and who's achieved something extraordinary has gone through the fire. They didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there by pushing through it, by refusing to let the discomfort stop them from reaching what they were destined for. Pain shows up in many forms: physical exhaustion, mental exhaustion, rejection, disappointment. It's the early mornings when your body aches. It's the late nights when your mind is heavy. It's the days when you want to quit, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, when the world tells you this is too hard. But those are the moments that separate the dreamers from the doers. You will either succumb to the pain or you will rise above it. Us who see it as part of the process. They don't wish for it to go away. They embrace it, knowing that on the other side of that pain is a new level of themselves they couldn't have reached any other way. The pain won't last forever. It may feel unbearable in the moment, but it's temporary, it's a season. And when you push through it, you become stronger, wiser, more capable. The strength you gain during these moments of hardship becomes a foundation for your future. It's the fuel that powers your next victory. You look back and realize that pain was just a stepping stone on your journey to greatness. Greatness demands that you sacrifice comfort. It demands that you rise when you feel like staying down. It demands you to keep moving when every fiber in your being wants to give up. You can't let pain be a deterrent. You have to let it propel you. You have to see the challenge, the struggle, as the very thing that is preparing you for what's next. The pain isn't a punishment, it's preparation. And if you want to know what separates the great from everyone else, it's this. The great ones embrace the pain. They run toward it. They dive into it with everything they've got because they know what's waiting on the other side. They don't look for an easy way out. They look for the way through. And they trust that every ounce of pain they endure brings them closer to their purpose, their vision, and their greatness. The reality is most people won't make it. And that's not a reflection of their ability. It's a reflection of their willingness to stick it out. Everyone starts with big dreams. Everyone talks about how they're going to be successful, how they're going to change the game. But very few are willing to put in the work when it gets tough. The truth is, you've got to outlast the quitters. People will fall off along the way. They'll start strong, but when things get rough, they'll be the first to turn back. They'll tell themselves they don't have time. They'll convince themselves that it's too hard. They'll give in to fear, to doubt, to insecurity. And that's when you got to make the choice. Are you going to quit with them or are you going to keep going? Success doesn't come to the people who start the fastest. It doesn't come to the ones who have the loudest dreams. It comes to the ones who can outlast the toughest days. The ones who show up when everyone else has gone home. The ones who are still grinding when the crowd is scattered. If you want to win, you've got to have the endurance to go the distance when the motivation fades and the excitement dies down. When everyone else quits, you keep going. When others sit down because they tire, you stand up and take another step. It's not about being the smartest or the most talented. It's about being the one who refuses to quit. It's about understanding that the grind isn't supposed to be easy, but it's worth it. The people who make it are the ones who keep showing up even when they want to leave. And that's what separates you from the rest. Quitting becomes easy when you're surrounded by others who are ready to quit too. It's like a virus. It spreads, it grows, and it can pull you into that same weak mindset. But you've got to guard your mind. You've got to protect your vision. When people around you start complaining, giving excuses, or backing down, you've got to be the one who reminds them of the bigger picture. And if you keep going alone. Endurance is a skill. It's the ability to outlast the doubts, the setbacks, the roadblocks, and the discouragements. It's the ability to keep your eyes on the prize when everything else around you is telling you to quit. The longer you stay in the game, the more it becomes clear that the key to winning isn't necessarily how fast you start, but how long you're willing to endure the process. You've got to be the one who looks at failure, looks at obstacles, and says, I'm not stopping. The ones who quit, they may have had the same dreams, the same skills, but they couldn't handle the pressure. They couldn't handle the fight. And that's where you separate yourself. You outlast them. You keep going when they're done. And in the end, that's what makes all the difference. The truth is, greatness isn't built on the flashy moment. It's not about the big speeches or the Instagram post showing off your success. It's about the boring stuff, the stuff no one sees, the stuff that doesn't get any attention but is crucial to your growth. You've got to master the routine, the repetition, and the tasks that feel like they're going nowhere. Most people avoid the boring stuff. They want the quick wins, the excitement, the thrill. They think that greatness is about getting the big break, but what they fail to realize is that the big break is just a result of hundreds, even thousands of hours spent doing the unglamorous work. The real champions, the real winners, are the ones who get excited about the grind that no one notices. They understand that success is built on mastering the little thing. You think you're going to skip steps? Think again. You're not going to get to the top by cutting corners. It's the boring stuff that gives you the foundation for the big stuff. Every late night you spend perfecting your craft. Every hour spent practicing a skill. Every single minute you put into your preparation, that's where the magic happens. The boring stuff is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's the one thing that will get you closer to greatness, day by day. The reason why most people quit is that they don't see the value in the boring tasks. They don't understand that success is found in the details, the way you answer the phone, the way you respond to people, the way you show up on the small days. Those are the things that build your character and your success. Master the basics, perfect the simple things, and that's how you build a foundation solid enough to support your dreams. Consistency is built in the boring stuff. Every time you show up, even when it's not exciting, you're building the muscle of discipline. Every time you do the things that others consider too small to matter, you're getting closer to greatness. This is where real progress happens, when you stick to it, even when you can't see the results. When everyone else is looking for shortcuts, you're getting better by doing the work that others aren't willing to do. Don't be fooled by the glamour. The great ones don't get caught up in the excitement of the moment. They stay focused on what's important. They master the routine. They make the boring stuff their priority because they know that's where success lives. The people who are consistently at the top are the ones who show up when no one else will, who grind when no one is watching, who put in the work even when they're tired, bored, or frustrated. You're not going to find greatness in the shortcuts, in the hacks, or the quick fixes. It's in the boring stuff. It's in the day-to-day. It's in the hours no one sees, the sweat no one recognizes. But when you've mastered the boring stuff, you've built the right habits, the right work ethic, and the right mindset to handle whatever comes next. Greatness isn't a one-time thing. It's a collection of small, consistent actions that lead to something extraordinary. Excuses are the enemy of progress. Every time you make an excuse, you're choosing to stay right where you are. You're saying, I can't do it, or it's too hard, or I'll do it tomorrow. But guess what? Tomorrow never comes. If you want to achieve greatness, you have to outwork every excuse you've ever made, every reason you've given yourself to quit, to slow down, to hold back. You need to destroy it with action. Excuses will always be there, knocking on your door, ready to distract you. It's too early. I'm too tired. I'm too busy. These voices are constant. They're easy to listen to, and they'll make you feel justified. But when you let them dictate your decisions, you're saying that your dreams are less important than your comfort. If you want greatness, you have to push past the excuses and do the work, even when it feels impossible. Excuses are a form of self-sabotage. They give you a way out, a reason to stop, a justification for not putting in the effort. But deep down, you know the truth. The only thing holding you back is your willingness to settle for mediocrity. If you're serious about reaching the top, you can't afford to listen to excuses. Every time you let one slide, you're getting farther from your goal. You have to decide to outwork them every single time. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent or luck. It's the ability to keep going when the excuses start to flood in. The ones who make it are the ones who say, I don't care how I feel, I'm getting this done. It's the willingness to push through when everyone else is looking for an easy way out. You've got to refuse to let excuses take root. When they come, squash them with action. The key to overcoming excuses is simple: action. You're going to have days when you don't feel like it. You're going to have mornings where your bed feels too good to leave, or nights when you just want to quit. But on those days, that's when you've got to double down. Get up and work harder than you did yesterday. Outwork your doubts, outwork your fear, outwork your tiredness. The best version of yourself is on the other side of that extra effort. The world will throw every excuse your way, but it's your job to show up and do the work anyway. People around you will justify their inaction. They'll tell you it's too hard. They'll tell you it's too late. But you have to decide to do it anyway. You've got to believe in the power of your work ethic. If you want results, you can't afford to give excuses any space in your life. Your dreams are worth more than any reason to quit. Greatness doesn't come to those who make excuses. It comes to the ones who choose to take action despite the excuses. It comes to the ones who outwork the fear, the self-doubt, and the distractions. If you want it bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen, no matter how many excuses try to stand in your way. You can't let them win. Outwork them. Keep moving forward, no matter how hard it gets. Losing is part of the process. If you're not prepared to fail, you're not prepared to win. And yet too many people let the sting of failure stop them in their tracks. They see loss as a sign that they're not good enough, that they're not cut out for the success they're chasing. But the truth is, the greatest lessons come from the losses. You've got to be willing to learn while you're losing. That's where the growth happens. That's where the real development takes place. Every time you lose, it's an opportunity to improve. You can either sit there and feel sorry for yourself, or you can pick yourself up, analyze what went wrong, and get better. It's not the wins that shape you. It's how you respond to the losses. The people who make it in life are the ones who look at their failures and say, what can I learn from this? They use every setback as a stepping stone toward the success they want. Losing is uncomfortable, and that's why so many people try to avoid it. They're afraid of the embarrassment, the shame, the fear of looking like they don't know what they're doing. But if you want to get better, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You have to embrace failure as part of your journey. Every loss is a chance to get closer to your goal. You won't always get it right, but as long as you keep learning, you'll keep improving. The people who don't learn from their losses are the ones who keep making the same mistakes. They don't take the time to reflect, to analyze, to adjust. And as a result, they stay stuck in a cycle of failure without ever moving forward. But when you make a habit of learning from every loss, you break the cycle. You start to see the patterns, the things you need to fix, the areas where you need to grow. And then you can work on and come back stronger. Losing isn't the end. It's a lesson, but only if you're willing to learn from it. If you just brush it off and move on without understanding why it happened, you're missing out on the most valuable part of the process. You can't grow if you're not willing to learn from the things that didn't go right. It's those lessons that will prepare you for the bigger challenges ahead. Every failure is a piece of the puzzle. Without them, you can't complete the picture. Greatness doesn't come from always winning. It comes from the ability to learn and grow from the losses, the mistakes, and the failures. The winners aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who never give up. They keep going, they keep learning, and they keep evolving. And that's what you have to do. Every time you fall, pick yourself up and figure out what you need to do differently. Make that loss count by becoming better for it. When you learn from your losses, you're building the mental toughness, the resilience, and the wisdom to handle success when it finally comes. Losing is a necessary part of the journey, but it's how you respond that matters most. You can either let it defeat you or you can let it teach you. The choice is yours, but one thing is certain. You will never reach your full potential unless you learn from every loss along the way. Biz is what gives you purpose. Without it, you're just moving through life aimlessly. A person without vision is like a ship without a compass. You're drifting, and the current can take you anywhere. But when you have a clear vision of where you want to go, everything changes. You're no longer just going through the motions. You're moving with intention, with a direction, and you have a reason to push through even when it gets tough. Your vision becomes the fuel that drives you, especially when things aren't going your way. The power of vision lies in its ability to help you see what others can't. People will look at you and not understand why you're working so hard. They'll question why you're willing to sacrifice, why you're putting in so much effort when the payoff seems so far away. But when you have vision, you can see the big picture. You understand that the work you're doing today is leading you to something greater. Your vision allows you to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear, because you can already see the destination. It's easy to get distracted. Life is full of noise, full of people telling you what you should do, how you should think, what you should want. But none of that matters when you have a vision that's clear in your mind. Your vision acts like a filter. It helps you block out all the distractions, all the negativity, and all the people who don't understand your journey. When you know exactly where you're going, it's easier to say no to the things that don't align with your goals. Vision isn't just about seeing what's ahead. It's about seeing what's possible. It's about tapping into your potential and understand that the world has so much more to offer you than what you see around you right now. Vision allows you to push past your current circumstances, past the struggles you're facing today, and look toward the future with confidence. It gives you the belief that you are capable of achieving things beyond your wildest dreams. Without vision, you're limited by your current reality. With vision, you unlock endless possibilities. See, having vision doesn't mean everything will go smoothly. It's the opposite. There will be days when things seem impossible, when your vision feels distant, when you wonder if it's even worth it. But that's when your vision becomes your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when the storms of doubt come. When everyone else is giving up, your vision will keep you going. It reminds you why you started and what you're working toward. Your vision doesn't just guide you when times are good. It's what pulls you through the hard times. A strong vision will demand sacrifices. You'll have to give up things. You'll have to say no to comfort. And sometimes you'll have to step out of your comfort zone in ways that feel unnatural, but that's the price of greatness. Your vision will challenge you to grow, to evolve, and to become someone you didn't even know you could be. When you're willing to sacrifice for your vision, you're telling the world that you're serious about your goals, that you're not afraid to put in the work even when the journey is long and difficult. The most successful people in the world are the ones who have a vision and refuse to let anything stand in their way. They know exactly where they're headed, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get there. Vision gives you purpose, strength, and direction. It helps you stay focused, it helps you persevere, and it helps you overcome the obstacles that will inevitably come your way. Without vision, you're just going through the motion. With vision, you have the power to change your life and the world around you. When you're chasing something great, the people around you are always going to understand. They won't get why you're waking up early, why you're staying late, why you're putting in the work while they're out having fun. They'll look at your decisions and question them. They'll doubt your path, and they'll label you as crazy or obsessive. But here's the truth. If you want to do something extraordinary, you've got to be okay with being misunderstood. Greatness is not always recognized right away, and it's often the misunderstood path that leads to success. Being misunderstood means you're pushing boundaries, doing things that others haven't been brave enough to do. When you choose to walk a road that's less traveled, You're going to face resistance. People are going to doubt your choices because they don't see what you see. They don't understand the vision you have for your life. And that's perfectly fine because you're not living for their approval. You're living for your purpose, for your vision, for the legacy you're working to create. Every successful person has had to deal with being misunderstood. Every single one of them. They were told they couldn't do it, that their idea was ridiculous, that they were wasting their time. But instead of backing down, they stood tall, they kept moving forward, and they let their work speak for itself. They knew that greatness doesn't care about public opinion. You can't let other people's limited vision of you define who you are and what you're capable of. Sometimes you'll find yourself at a crossroads where you have to decide between following the crowd and following your instincts. The crowd will always tell you to take the safe route, to do what everyone else is doing, and to stay comfortable. But comfort is the enemy of greatness. If you want to be extraordinary, you've got to be willing to take risks, to step into the unknown, and to make decisions that others might not understand. Your journey is yours alone, and no one else is going to see it the way you do. It's easy to get discouraged when people question your decisions, when they laugh at your dreams, when they tell you it's too risky, too far-fetched, or too impossible. But that's the point. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. If it were safe, it wouldn't require the level of commitment and sacrifice that greatness demands. So instead of shrinking back when people misunderstand you, use it as fuel. Let their doubt be the reason you work harder. Let their skepticism be the fire that burns inside you to prove them wrong. The reality is, if you're not being misunderstood at some point in your journey, you're probably not pushing hard enough. You're probably playing it too safe. Greatness requires you to challenge the norms, to break the rules, and to step out of your comfort zone. The world isn't going to understand your vision until you've succeeded, until your work is undeniable. But by then, you'll already be too far along to care about anyone's opinion. Your focus will be on the impact you're making, not on whether people agree with you. Being misunderstood is a sign that you're doing something different, something important. It's a sign that you're on the path to something great, something that others may not see yet, but that you know deep down is worth the effort. You've got to be willing to walk this path, even when you're the only one who believes in it. Don't let the fear of being misunderstood stop you from chasing your dreams. Embrace it because it's part of the journey to greatness. Let it motivate you, let it push you, and let it remind you that the path you're walking is one worth taking. Life isn't always fair. We've all had moments where it feels like the deck is stacked against us, where it seems like no matter how hard we try, the odds are never in our favor. You've put in the work, you've stayed committed, you've sacrificed, and yet things don't seem to be going your way. It's in those moments when it feels like life is throwing everything at you that you must keep going. The unfairness is not a reason to quit, it's a reason to push harder. You can't control the circumstances, but you can control your response. People often want fairness, they want life to be balanced and just, but the reality is life doesn't owe you anything. It's not about what's fair, it's about what you're willing to do despite the unfairness. You're going to face challenges that don't make sense, situations where it seems like others have it easier or that you're being punished for no reason. But the truth is, these struggles are building something in you. They're strengthening your character, testing your resilience, and showing you what you're made of. You can't expect fairness, because if you do, you'll be waiting forever. You'll get stuck in the victim mindset thinking that the world is out to get you. And that's not how greatness is achieved. Greatness is about perseverance. It's about finding the strength to keep going when life feels like it's working against you. It's about showing up every day, even when you feel like quitting. It's about doing what others won't do, even when it seems unfair, because you know that your success is not determined by what happens to you, but by what you're willing to keep doing regardless of the circumstances. The unfair moments are when you're tested the most. They separate the dreamers from the doers. When things are hard, when it feels like everything is falling apart, most people will give up. They'll throw in the towel and walk away because they're looking for fairness and they don't understand that struggle is a part of the process. But you keep going. You push through the pain, you keep grinding. Even when the world doesn't seem to notice, you outlast the hardship. And in doing so, you create your path to success. Fairness doesn't define who you are, what you're capable of. Your potential is not tied to what you've been given, but to what you're willing to fight for. When things aren't fair, that's when your true character shows. It's easy to do the right thing when everything is going well, when success is guaranteed. But when the odds are against you, that's when your commitment, your discipline, and your heart come into play. It's not about getting what you deserve. It's about earning what you want through your actions. Life is a series of tests, and the unfairness you face is part of those tests. It's meant to shape you, to push you past your limits, and to help you grow into the person capable of handling the greatness you're chasing. You won't grow by staying in your comfort zone, and you won't become stronger by avoiding difficulty. The pain, the unfairness, the setbacks, they're all pieces of the puzzle that will eventually come together to reveal your success. So when it feels like it's not fair, when you're doing everything right and the world seems to be working against you, keep going, keep grinding, keep pushing, and keep your eyes on the prize. Success doesn't come to those who are looking for an easy way out. It comes to those who are willing to keep going when it's not fair, when it's hard, and when everything seems stacked against them. Your persistence is your power. Keep going. The price of greatness is not small. It requires more than just hard work. It demands your time, your energy, your focus, and at times your peace of mind. There will be moments when you'll question whether it's worth it, when you'll feel the weight of sacrifice bearing down on you. You'll have to give up things you love, things you enjoy, and sometimes even things you thought you couldn't live without. But if you truly want to achieve something great, you must be prepared to pay that price. There is no shortcut to success, and the path to greatness is paved with sacrifices. What most people don't understand is that greatness isn't just about working hard for a few months or years. It's about a lifestyle. It's about being relentless day after day, year after year, through the highs and lows. The price is constant. There's no time off, no vacation from the grind, no days when you can let your foot off the gas. To build something monumental, to create something lasting, you must be prepared to give everything you have. The price is high, but if you truly understand the reward, the cost is worth it. When the price feels like too much, when you're tired and frustrated, you need to remember why you're doing it. Every hour, every ounce of energy you give is an investment in your future. Every sacrifice you make now is building the foundation for your success. The price is high, but the reward is greater. What you get on the other side of all the hard work, the discipline, the sacrifices, those rewards are worth more than any temporary comfort or convenience you give up. They are the fruits of your labor, the proof that the price you paid was not in vain. There will be days when you wonder if it's all worth it. You'll feel the pressure, you'll feel the exhaustion, and you'll wonder if anyone even notices the effort you're putting in. You'll question whether success is truly just around the corner or if you're just wasting your time. Those are the moments that define you. Those are the moments where you decide whether to continue or to quit. When the price feels too steep, that's when your character is tested. It's in those moments that you remind yourself why you started and why the reward is worth the price. Success doesn't come without struggle. There will be setbacks, mistakes, failures, and disappointments along the way. But the price is what makes the reward so sweet. Without the struggle, without the sacrifice, the victory wouldn't feel as satisfying. The higher the price you pay, the greater the reward you will experience. The journey is what makes the destination worthwhile. When you get to the other side, when you've crossed the finish line, and when you've achieved what you've worked so hard for, you'll look back and realize that every moment of sacrifice, every bit of pain was worth it. The price is high because greatness is rare. If everyone could achieve it without sacrifice, then it wouldn't be special. It wouldn't be worth pursuing. But greatness requires grit, determination, and the willingness to do what others aren't willing to do. While others are out living for today, you're focused on tomorrow. While others are taking shortcuts, you're taking the long, hard road. That road will be tough. It will test you. But as long as you keep going, as long as you stay committed to your vision, the reward will be waiting for you at the end of the journey. And the reward is not just financial. It's not just recognition. The real reward comes from knowing that you gave everything you had, that you paid the price and you didn't quit. The reward is the person you become in the process. The reward is the life you create, the legacy you leave behind, and the impact you make on the world. It's the sense of fulfillment that only comes from knowing you didn't take the easy route, but the one that was worth it. The price is high, but so is the reward. And when you reach that reward, you'll realize it was all worth it.